Hey everybody, quick screencast for Wednesday, December 5th on how to finish the fire in room 218 project. So let's get right down to it. I'm in Final Cut Express and this is where we left off yesterday in Final Cut anyway. But what we need to finish this is we need to import our still that we edited yesterday, and then we need to get some fire so that we can play that through the mat we made. So first thing I'm gonna do is just tear this window away here, and I see the still out on my desktop, fire still, and I'm gonna drag that into the interface. And as long as I'm out here, I'll show you where the fire is. It's in Harry Media, and that's as far as I went. I didn't bury it. So if you view it as a list, there is a file in here that's got fire in its name. If you look oh boy, yay far down, it's called fire.move, and you're going to want to drag that into your interface too. So now you got your mat, now you got your flames, and now it needs to be put together. So the next thing we do in the timeline is we try to decide about where we want the fire to start, because we're going to do a classic 3-point edit. So I think I'm going to put the fire starting about when I'm knelt down. Anyway, I'm kind of stooped over plugging in the Christmas tree, and in the timeline I'm marking an in point, and I'm going to mark an out point at the end of the video. So it's going to play from there to there. All right. Meanwhile, I moved the target up to video track 2, and I'm going to load the still into the viewer. It just shows white over black. Really, it's white over transparent, but we don't have anything beneath it, so it shows white over black. And it looks like I have 10 seconds of stuff. I notice there's an in point and an out point, and we know that we can't do a 4-point edit. So in my viewer, I'm going to click in the viewer to get the mouse in there, to make that the active window. And I'm going to hit Option X, and that's going to clear both the ins and the outs. Okay, and I don't really need an endpoint. It'll assume the playhead as the endpoint. So at this point, I can do an overwrite style edit, and there you have it. You have your mat arranged in track 2. Okay, what we need next is the fire in track 3. Okay, here's a cool little edit that I showed you previously that I'm going to execute right now. All right, I've got the fire. As you scrub through it, it looks like we got fire. We don't know if it's over a transparent background just by looking here. It is not. It's over black, but we can show you how to remove the black so that we have just flame. Okay, so anyhow, what I'm going to do, since video track 2 has been targeted, I can do this classic little superimpose, and it'll take my fire and place it into track 3 at just a random amount of time. All right, so first thing I want to do is remove the black. Right, I can't have that. That has to come out of there, so we have a transparent flame that will play through our mat. So something we haven't worked a whole lot on is keying. Right, you can take color away from a solid color away from a background like this and be left over with flames. Okay, so it's in the effects tab. What? You don't see your effects tab? Look into your window menu. Make sure it's checked. All right. Oddly enough, mine's not checked, but it's there. But I think we talked about that before. So what I want to do is go into the key family of video filters. That's where I went first. Video filters, key, and there's a color key. And we want to drop that key right on top of the fire. And I did that pretty quickly, but I applied the filter, but we don't see the results of that filter because we haven't tweaked it. By the way, make sure your playhead is over that clip, the fire clip, so you can see what you're doing over in your canvas. So we want to take our fire from the timeline, double click it. That loads it back into the viewer, can't you tell? By the double dots here, sprockets. And then in the filters tab, we can see that we've applied a color key filter. Okay, and I want to remove the black. So it's trying to remove, looks like kind of shade of purple. So if you click that, you can tell that, hey, I want to remove black. And these little sliders here are set kind of to the extreme, right? The tolerance, like Photoshop tolerance, the higher the number, the more black it removes. Edge feathering, that's how much wispiness, I guess, for lack of a better word, you're going to see around the edges. So if I bring my tolerance up to something other than 1, doesn't have to be high, and then I bring my edge feathering down a little bit, okay, between the two of them, you can get it the way you like it. So you see flame and not a whole lot of extra black. A little bit extra black's okay. So you get it set the way you want and scrub through it. And then what you want to do is take that flame with your wireframe, and I like this little trick where you grab a corner and you hold the shift key, because I don't have a real nice flame here in my library that would have multiple flames to it. This is just one big flame, so I got to kind of try to spread this out, resize it so that it covers that window when I eventually decide to mat it out. So all I'm doing is I'm trying to position it over the windows so that when I apply the composite mode, it looks like it's in those spots. So I'm just scrubbing and I'm looking, is it going to be in all of those windows at some point? Yeah, we're pretty close here. Okay, so I do that now, and then I apply my composite mode. Okay, and since you have a white mat with transparency, the video composite mode should be set to Travel Matte Alpha, not Luma. We use Luma when we have white over black. So if I go Travel Matte Alpha for the fire, like magic, when I scrub through it now, it only plays through the matte, and it only plays during that time where we want it to play. So the other thing you might do is I turned on the overlays here. You can maybe bring down the transparency of the fire, so I don't know, that's kind of to your taste. If you think it looks better like that, I think it does look a little better. It's really, really bright otherwise. So the only thing left for you to do, head out to either Sound Bible. I'm sure you can find it there. I did not preview this, but I would like you to find some fire sound. Okay, I don't know if I had any in Harry Media, but it'd be good for you to go to Sound Bible, add some fire sound beneath it in tracks 3 and 4, make sure it's in stereo. And then I want you to export this as a MOV file, right? So you can turn it in. Export a QuickTime movie. That's step 1. Remember, after you export it, quit Final Cut, go out to your desktop, and then convert that to an MP4 using MPEG Streamclip, okay? There will be a placeholder in Google Classroom to turn this in, and we'll move on and do another example of these cool mats on Thursday when I get back. So, all right, rock on. I will see you Thursday.